guys, how are you doing? I'm sorry that I haven't seen you in such a long time. As people from Twitter probably know, I had an exam recently, so I haven't been making any content at all. I did make a couple of edits. But as for this channel, I haven't been doing anything, so hello! Sorry I haven't seen you in so long. Firstly, I have a new backdrop because I have, believe it or not, been screenshotting and collecting all the lovely things you guys say, and I wanted to make it into a board. So this is my Twitter board with my @ I'll probably fill it up, I don't know. Maybe I'll make another one and put them together. If you can see, you probably can't see yourself on there. But yeah, I didn't want to lose all the nice things people say, so I don't know, when I've been a YouTuber for a while, I won't remember the first people who watch my videos or whatever, and that would be a shame, so I thought I'd make this board. Secondly, I have missed making creative content for you guys, and I do have some in the pipeline, but as some of you know, I've started a new job recently, and I can't wear my facial piercings for health and safety reasons, and I bought some, and I thought I would just do a piercing haul of what I got, so you know what is and isn't a good thing to buy if you're buying invisible piercings. So, sorry that this isn't more creative, but I will have some creative content for you shortly. The one I've got in now, that's my normal piercing, and I'm not going to take it out, I'll tell you why in a minute, but it's similar to, I don't even know if you can see that, I'll take it out of the packet. I think this is actually a longer bar because this is the one they did it with, and they have to give a longer bar because of swelling. I don't even know if you can see that. That's the size of it. You probably can't see that at all, I'm so sorry. The size is called 1.6 gauge, and that's the one I've got in now. Basically, I bought these invisible ones. I don't have the original one I bought. The original one I bought was meant to be Bioplast Push Fit Labrit. That's what it was. And it was meant to be the clear one, so similar to this one, because I don't have the original one. Similar to this one, you've got a clear base and a clear thing that goes in the end, which is just like, rather than screwing onto the outside, it just pops inside like a pin. But when it came, the inside bit was brown, so the whole point of it didn't work because it's meant to be an invisible piercing. And basically what happened when I put that in is I could put the base at the back and then put the front in, and or A, you could see it, which was ridiculous, and B, because it's so slim, I could actually go and suck it through the hole, which is really gross. And I thought, I really want something a bit more substantial if I'm going to be working with children. I don't want to accidentally it to fall out of my mouth or something. So that was a bit gross. And it was the wrong one as well, because it was the clear base with the brown end, and it was meant to be the clear base with the clear end. So I've lost that. So never mind about that. So I decided to replace it with this one, which is a Bioplast Push Fit Labrit and ear retainer, because you can put in your ear as well, with O-ring. So it's, I think, a bit thicker, and the O-ring goes over the outside. The O-ring is just like a donut shape. You really can't see that. Which was a good idea because it's got a wider base for the O-ring to go onto, so it's like, if you can imagine, this is how thick the bar is, and then a slightly thicker end, and then the donut goes onto that. So there's less likely for it to fall out. That is a 1.6 gauge, and it's 6mm long, because something like this, that size, would be more noticeable. I think they were available at 10mm, 8mm and 6mm, so I stupidly got the shortest one. As you can see, my bottom lip is quite big. I know it doesn't go through the lip, but it's like at the base of the lip, and it's too short. This is why I put my metal one back in, because it was too tight and I could feel it like irritating my lip. Sorry if you're triggered by gross things. It was like quite raw. You could see around the edge, considering it's invisible. You couldn't really see the piercing, but you could see redness, and I thought, this isn't good. And when I got home, I took it out and it was slightly bleeding. So I just put this straight in. I put some moisturiser on it. I'm not going to put this back in. My boss knows that this is too tight for me because I let her know, so I'll get a new one of these when I get paid. I also need to replace this with an invisible one when I get paid. So I just wanted to say, if you're buying one of these, I personally wouldn't go for It's a Bioplast Push Fit. It's a Push Fit Labrit. The normal Push Fit Labrit I wouldn't go for personally because, as I said, you can just suck it through the hole. There's no head to it. Like, imagine a mushroom shape. You want it to be a mushroom shape. That's how I feel. So it can't go through the hole, and it can sit perfectly on your skin, flush with your skin. I wouldn't necessarily want the one that's too long. Like, this is fairly long, and you can see it. However, I wouldn't personally buy one that's this short. The 6mm was a mistake because it's too thin for my actual lip, and it hurt my lip. So I would say if you're going for it, this is from bodyjewelleryshop.com. I'm not paid for this. Hashtag no spawn. So it's a Bioplast Push Fit Labrit I wouldn't go for. This is the Bioplast Push Fit Labrit with O-ring. So the type with the O-ring I would go for. So not the basic push fit, but the O-ring push fit. And the 6mm long, that in my opinion, that for me personally was too tight and it was really hurting me. So I've had to take that out. I just wanted to do that for anyone who also has piercings and might have to cover them for school or work or whatever. Obviously the O-ring is larger. You're more able to see it than the standard push fit. However, with my lip, because it's quite thick, you can't see it because I've got this in, but it actually folds over it and sort of covers it up. So this is underneath. Then again, that might be because it's a shorter bar. So, I don't know. I wouldn't go for a 6mm if you're buying one of these. Get either the 10mm or the 8mm gauge, which is the thickness size. That kind of depends on your piercing, because I've got the larger size. I bought the larger size. So if you can get a bar that fits the one that you've got already, that's perfect. But do not go for the 6mm one unless you feel like your lip there is quite thin, because it can cut into you. You're thinking about how it looks from the outside. Is it too obvious? But you've got to think about, is it actually hurting me, or is it going to go back into my mouth? So that's my haul, and I'm sorry I didn't have the other one because I couldn't find it. The ones with flesh coloured ends, I can't imagine they would be as invisible as the clear ones. However, with this clear one, there it is on its own. Because a hole, sorry if you're triggered by gore or anything, because a hole in your face is essentially black, a hole in anything is black, sometimes at certain angles it can look black, it can look like a black dot. So that's what I would say about the transparent bar, is that at certain angles it will reflect the hole and it will look really black and you're like, whoa, why is it black? And then you look and you realise that it's actually clear. That happened to me a lot recently with this, but it was mostly the redness I was seeing. So the blackness probably isn't as visible as, obviously, if it's too tight and it's making your lips red. But for that reason you might not want to have a clear bar. They might have other bars like flesh coloured with a clear end, or a clear O-ring, or a flesh coloured O-ring. But I think, to me, the clear bar's probably fine. I don't imagine the reflection of black is as obvious as if you were to buy a flesh coloured one and it was the wrong colour and it looked really weird, you know. The clear's probably fine, but make sure you get a long enough bar. And if you can make sure the gauge is the right size, that's also great. Sorry this video was a bit of a mess. I've just got home from work and I probably look a bit of a mess. I wanted to show you my board, and I do have other comments that I can't find. I've had some really nice comments on one of my videos, but I can't find it, so I'm going to add that to the board. But if you can see your name, congratulations, and if you can't, well, you're part of my internet family anyway, so it doesn't matter. You know that I appreciate you all, and I can't wait to do some new creative stuff for you guys, and I hope that you're having a positive day. Bye!